Hello everybody. I am here today to sew in some signatures into this cover and just do a little few more things to it. I decided to go ahead and put these appliques on the edges, and I just left one off so that I can show you guys that process. And then we are going to go ahead and put these in here and then sew in a signature so you guys can see how that's done. So first I'm going to use my 3-in-1 glue, Beacon 3-in-1, and I'm just going to put some on the back of this applique here that I have. These were actually like little fasteners. I think I got them in a swap that I did online. If the person that's watching this knows who they are, I think, because I've done a couple swaps, so I'm not sure which person gave them to me. But that's another way to get little supplies, is if you have too much of one thing and not enough of another, is you can do swaps. You know, join a Facebook group and swap with somebody else, and you're sharing things you don't need, but you know, you might love them but you don't really need them, you're not using them, and vice versa. And it's just fun getting a little packet, you know, in the mail from somebody, and then it's like a surprise. You get to go through it and see what all you got. Okay, so I just put that 3-in-1 glue on there. Since this is a little hidden pocket here, I'm going to just make sure I don't get it over that edge, because I want to be able to use it as a pocket still. And then you just press it down where you want it, like so. It's pretty simple. And that's what I did to each of these appliques on here. I'll let you see them. They're kind of cute. I just thought they added that extra touch to finishing touch there. Alright, so now we need to finish up the inside here before we sew in the signatures. So I'm going to be putting this piece of cloth. I chose this one just to go over the spine here. But first, before we do that, I'm going to glue these in. So they will be glued in like that. So we'll do that real quick. Let's see. We need a glue stick. So first I'm just going to use my Restick washable, safe, non-toxic glue stick. And just go over it very generously with the glue. You want to make sure that you cover as much of that area as possible and try not to leave anything unglued. At least that's my process. I've seen some people that they just glue around the edges, but I just think it's better to glue the whole thing personally, because I wouldn't want it bubbling up in the middle or coming loose or getting ripped in the middle and then coming up everywhere. So that's just my process. I glue around the entire thing. Once I get that glue on there, I'm going to use my art glitter glue. I need to really fill this up with a new glue, but I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to go around the edges with this once I can get it to come out. You know what, I'm going to stop the video for a sec. I'll be right back because I'm going to fill this glue up. Hi, I'm back. Alright, it's a full bottle now, so it will come out much easier. So I'm just going to go around the edges with my art glitter glue. Set that aside for a minute. Grab one of my little handy cards, and we're going to make sure it's the right side up and line it up so that it's in the right spot. best you can. And then just push it down with your card. You don't have to push very hard. It's mainly to just spread out that glue and get it all evenly distributed underneath. Make sure those edges are... And just so you guys see, I didn't go right up to this edge, to the very edge of this cardboard here, because when you fold it, you don't want the paper coming up because it's too close, you know. So you want to keep it a little bit away from that edge there. All right, let's do the next one. Same process. So I did a little video on some bumblebees in Varia, and you guys can watch that as well. I don't think I'm going to put it in as part of this series. I'm just going to put it up on my channel. I'll try to link it below so that you guys just have a link straight to it. But if for some reason I'm not able to do that, you can just go to my main channel where you subscribe, and it will be on the list of videos to watch. But it is this bee right here. And I made them so that I can put them in my journal. Alright. So just glue around the edges again. Real thin bead of glue. Thin bead of glue. Glud. Anyways, because you don't want it so thick that it's going to be oozing out the edges. That's one reason I love this little fine tip, because it allows you to put that glue around the edge really thin. And you don't need a lot for it to stick. Alright, same process. I want to get it on there just right, hopefully. Want to try to make it even with the other side as well, the top and bottom. Try not to get over your metal edges. I probably should have put this on before I put those corners on, but I forgot. So we're just doing this instead. Sometimes we forget what step to do first. But luckily, you know, it fits pretty good right in there, so it's not a big deal. Alright, that's done. So we're going to put our pin inside of our glue, and so that doesn't dry at the tip. And then we're going to take our little piece of material here, and we are going to use our 3-in-1 glue and glue that down real well. So first, I will just put it all over the spine here. The 3-in-1 glue seems to have it's just slow at coming out. So I'm going to stop the video and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. It's coming out. So I'm going to go over this spine really well with the 3-in-1 glue. It kind of comes out thick, so that's why I go and get some of it out and then kind of spread it around with the tip a little here, so it goes all over. You can use your finger if you don't mind getting glue on your finger to spread it out as well. And if you don't want to put a piece of material here, you don't have to. You could always just paint this whole thing purple. Or a lot of the spine's not going to show anyways. I just do it because I like the finished look that it gives the journal, and it's that much more secure as well. Adds a little bit of protection, I guess. And I'm going to go ahead and go down the edge here too with my glue. Make sure it's coming out. So all the way down the edge with my glue. So that material comes a little bit over the edge. So I want to make sure there's enough glue on the edges. All right. And then we are going to glue our material down. Try to get it on there even. Probably put a little more glue on than I needed to, but that's okay. I mean on the bottom here. It's kind of coming out the bottom. Take my card and spread that glue out real well. And you can also go like this if you want to. Get around, get that edge good. The same with this side. You can take a baby wipe and just get off that excess glue. And set the bottom there. If there's any on the top. Alright, and this is okay if it goes up a little bit because it doesn't matter. Alright, so that's the spine. And then it will fold over like that, like so. And the inside cover. And we will probably be putting pockets or something on the inside cover as well. Whatever you want to do. Alright, so I made a template ahead of time for my signatures. The process that I did is, since I have 4 signatures, I did it where you just fold the paper in half, and then you take this and fold it to the center again, and then fold it again when you get the lines, so that you have those even lines, and then you draw your lines for the 4, because you're going to have a signature on each spot where the lines are. And then the dots, where's my signature? Okay, so the dots, I just measured, I made this template the size of my signature so that I know when I put it in, I'm going to center it in a way that I want my signature to be in the book. If that makes sense. I don't like making it the whole size because I've done that before and then I mismeasure where I want it to be. You can write top at the top so that you know that is the top of your signature. Then I just put a dot where I want each of my holes to go, and then I used a ruler to do them all the way across evenly. So now we are going to go ahead and poke our holes. So first I want to get some washi tape or some kind of removable tape, something that's not going to stick very long. Something you don't care about too much. So I will take a piece of washi tape and put it at the top just to hold that down, and take one more piece of washi tape and put it at the bottom. Hold that bottom down. Might need another piece. Might need one more piece. Let's see. My washi tape's not holding very good, so maybe I need regular tape. Let me get some regular tape, guys. It's not going to hurt the fabric to have some Scotch tape on there. Only thing is it won't come off the paper very well. So what I'll do is I'll I'll leave that tape there and just put this a little bit over the washi tape for my guard. For my line here. Okay. So I'm just holding that in place there. Then I'm going to take my awl or my poker. This one is from We Are Memory Keepers. It came in a kit, but it's pretty sharp. There are other kits out there that are for bookbinding, and they come with a little sharp tip as well, tool. And you can also use, if you don't want to use something like this, you could use, let me show you, a crocodile. I think these are called crocodiles. So this will poke holes into it as well. So the only thing is you have to make sure it's long enough to go the whole length of your book. But I'm not going to do that today. Today I'm just going to use this little tool. And I'm going to poke holes where all of these are into my book. I will do just one to show you, and then I'll be back when they're all done. So you just want to poke through really like that, like so. And then you just do the same thing to all the holes. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. I have poked all my holes, as you can see. And you can see that they're all poked all the way through to the back. Now at this point, some people put eyelets in. And if you want to do eyelets, I would suggest you use a crocodile to make the hole a little bit bigger. But I'm not going to use eyelets today. I'm probably going to cover my spine, most likely. But even if I don't, once the thread's in, it doesn't look so bad. But now we're going to measure where we're going to put the holes in our signature. So with the signature, what you want to do is you want to clip the edges. So you're going to want to clip like this, or some kind of clip that will hold your pages in place, like so. And put them on each side of your signature, because you don't want your pages moving around when you are poking your holes. That could make it uneven. Then you are going to take this, your little template, and you're going to put it in place on that spine, and you're going to use maybe a pencil and mark those holes. So, and there's already holes in here. Mark them right on the spine there. Just like that. Make sure you can see them. Like this one's kind of hard to see, but so I'll make it a little darker. And then I'm going to take my tool again and poke holes through here. Now I'm going to kind of hold it like this. I'm not going to hold it straight out because I don't want my holes poking through to the other side. Took the wrong lid off. I don't want my holes poking over here, so I'm going to keep it kind of folded when I poke the holes. And then I'm just going to take my tool and poke it through to the other side, like so. Where I put those marks. Put it all the way through. And last one we will do right there. Alright, so you have all three of your holes poked in. Now we are going to sew the signature on. I'm using this wax thread. I prefer the wax thread because you see how it's just a little stiffer. It also ties a little bit tighter, so I like that. But you can use any kind of thick thread that you have. Some people even use ribbons. I pre-threaded my needle, and if you get one of the sets for bookbinding, they come with these needles. But I just pre-threaded it so that I'd already be ready to go. Alright, so you're going to go through the middle hole first, and then you're going to go through here, like this, with your needle and thread, and you're going to pull it through, but not completely all the way. You want to leave kind of a longer string there, because you're going to need that there when you go to tie it off. And then you're going to go through the hole on the outside, on the upper part. And then you're going to go through this hole for your signature. It's hard for me to make sure you guys can see, but so you want to put your needle through that hole there. Sometimes it's hard to get the needle through. Alright, there we go. So just pull it through again. Then you're going to go through that middle hole again. So you kind of want to hold this thread a little bit out of your way so that you don't, you know, sew into that thread. And then you want to go through that hole again, and then go through the hole on the spine again. Make sure you're not through that thread. Pull it through. And this is called a 3-stitch. So some people do more stitches. I personally like to keep it simple as I can, because this is probably my least favorite part of making a journal, but I do love the effect of it. So now you're going to go through that bottom hole and bring your needle up, and then you're going to make sure everything's really tight before you go on to the next part. Make sure your pages are in there right, like this, like so. Make sure your binding on the back is tight. Pull it if you have to on each end, because you don't want this to be super loose. You want it to have some tension there. Alright. And then you come back through here, and you're going to put your needle underneath that string there, and you want to take this thread and put it underneath on the other side, and you want to pull it tight again. At this point you can take your needle off. You don't need it there anymore. And make sure it's tight. I kind of hold it down with one of my fingers a little bit, and then you just tie it in a knot like that, and then I tie it one more time the opposite direction. Tie it tight. And you can either leave these strings on here and put beads on them later, kind of have it like a bookmark, or you can cut them off kind of short, but don't cut them too short just in case you have to tighten it later. It usually stays pretty good for me, but I usually leave them until I know what I want to do. And you take your clips off, like so. And you have your first signature sewn in. And that's what that looks like. So I'm going to sew in the rest of my signatures, and I will be back. Sorry guys, before I sew in the rest of my signatures, one thing I forgot to tell you is the length of your thread, the length that it needs to be. So I always measure 1, 2, 3, and just a teeny bit more, and cut it. at that point. That's about how long each of your, it needs to be the length of 3 of your books. So 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have to be an exact measurement. And that's the length that you need for your signature, okay? Okay, so I'm back. I have sewn in all these signatures. We have 4 signatures. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And when it's closed, it will look like this. So next week, we will be possibly, here's the spine, so this one seems a little tiny bit loose, but anyways, here's the spine. We might put something on the spine next week. I'm not sure. And maybe decorate a little bit, but then I am going to call it good as far as this journal series goes, because you guys at this point have a basic journal. I will be going over other steps to making a journal as I put Inferia and stuff in these journals, but I probably won't put it part of this series because the series was mainly to construct a journal together, and at this point you guys have a journal to work with. All the other stuff is putting the ephemera in and all the little details in, and I will make videos as I do that with this journal, but I'm not going to put it in this series. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Again, I probably will do something to the spine, but I will put that in a regular video, not in the series. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys enjoyed doing these journals with me, and I would love to see what you guys came up with. Comment below if you have any questions. Please comment in the comments below. Please share, please like, subscribe if you want to continue to get my updates on all my videos as I continue with this channel. And I'm so thankful that you are here. Have a good day or night, whatever it is where you're at, and I will see you next time.